Hi, my name is Cooper Davey, and I want to talk about To Catch a Thief. To Catch a Thief is a movie in 1955 directed by Alfred Hitchcock, and it stars Cary Grant and Grace Kelly. To Catch a Thief is the story of John Roby, a former thief who is trying to live an honest and innocent life now. However, someone else isn't pretending to be him, so he needs to clear his own name, and the only way to do that is to catch this new thief. I think To Catch a Thief is very well done. Alfred Hitchcock has proven to me once again that he is a great director by showing that the camera placement is always intentional. There is always some hidden meaning that I could find, especially in my own scene here today. I know that there is always a second meaning behind every one of the choices that is made. I can always tell the music is also very well implemented because of the way that it never intrudes onto the scene. It is always there when it needs to be, as well as it gives me a certain emotion of how the tone is, how John Robbie's thinking, as well as how I'm supposed to feel. I also appreciate the lighting in this movie because even though I have a daytime scene, the nighttime scenes also work beautifully. You can get that feeling of a thief in the night and it doesn't feel unnatural at all. And I think it's wonderfully well done to show that contrast between the daytime and the nighttime. The scene I chose to analyze is of John Robbie, who has just escaped the police that were trying to chase him because he is now wanted, as he tries to explain himself to some of his former friends. And he starts to get his plan together for how he will catch this new thief. As we already knew beforehand, before the scene actually started, John Robbie had just gotten away from the police that had left his house, and he has started his journey officially. So, when we begin, there's an establishing shot, and we get to see the entire scenery, and we are shown mostly, the most important part is we are near the water now. He is at the docks, that is where his new scene takes place. The scene is mostly about the emotion of other people, though, as we see in the very next shot is a sequence of following one waiter specifically, from a long shot to a close-up to seeing his hands, as we see how he reacts to witnessing John Robbie right in front of him. He's nervous, you see it in his eyes. He looks down, he's messing with a bottle of wine, he's spilling it, as his relationship with John Robbie becomes apparent later on in the movie. He still also is aware of who this person is and of how he is being viewed right now. One of the more underrated relationships of this movie is between Brittany and Robbie, especially in this scene specifically. Robbie is seen to be in power. He's intimidating to every single person that we've already seen before. However, in this scene, Brittany is all about honesty and about teaching respect to his clients. He is in control always. And that is a contrast to Robbie's kind of honestly more scared feelings of I am wanted by the law and I don't know who's doing this. I need to figure this out right now. So there's a very nice contrast between the two of movement wise and of power on who actually is in control at the moment. You can see it more as Brittany is more comfortable. He's sitting down more, resting, holding his glasses, of course. And in the meantime, Robbie is instead fidgeting. He keeps changing his stance, folding his arms instead, holding his hands, and can't decide what he wants to do. He also, throughout the scene, is shown first at a lower angle to show that he is thought of to be in power, while in the meantime, Brittany is relaxed with a normal high angle because he's sitting down compared to him. One of my favorite interactions happens now as Bertani leaves the room to go deal with something. Robbie decides to go into the kitchen to discuss with his friends. Now that we're back in a moment of Robbie thinking by himself, there's no dialogue spoken at all until later on. So music creeps in instead and is giving us kind of his own thought process of he's thinking very quietly. He's trying to gather more information about these people because they are also plausible suspects for the thief. He sees some people making fun of him by pouring milk into a bowl saying it's for him, seeing someone else ripping heads off of carrots violently, insinuating some violent intentions. And this train of thought keeps going. He's unfazed by all of these jokes until someone breaks a plate screaming his name. This is where the music stops, and he immediately starts to go into instinct mode of how do I solve this problem. There's a back and forth of the big man is getting closer as he needs to think of something quick, and I appreciate that every time it goes back to Robbie, the camera gets a bit closer, and from medium shot all the way up to an extreme close up where you even see his eye twitch as he finds a bottle of wine and throws it at the guy to make a joke for everybody to laugh at. This really highlights Robbie's ability to on quick thinking, instinctual escaping a situation, and also to just make lightheart of something that everyone else might saw as tense. The back and forth witty bantering of looking at the big guy ends when Bertani has returned and Robbie's brought back into the situation where he is brought back to his problem at hand. The music stops and he is brought back into doing an actual dialogue. No more centered camera just for him. It is a conversation between Bertani and Robbie now. This kind of is where Robbie shows his true colors of he's still nervous, as slick as he still can't escape this danger that he is still in. He is faced with the problem of someone is intimidating because they are great at imitating him. And he needs to figure out how to solve that problem, and he goes into a speculation mode. He stops getting so low angles and goes back into a normal angle right next to Bertani, as it kind of shows that they're on equal footing, until Bertani begins to show that he has a bit more authority. He's getting lower angles as they are both sitting down, because he is talking about how he is safe from the law compared to Robbie. This makes Robbie scared. He gets up and it is a high angle now. He is nervous about the situation he is in. He's fidgeting with his hands, changing seats, and he just needs to figure out what to do in order to stay safe again. The scene ends with Bertani giving Robbie his next clue as to who the plausible burglar could be, based on who had previously been in the restaurant before, and Robbie opts to make his escape. I wanted to focus on this scene specifically because it really tests the limits for Robbie in seeing how far his relationships are still willing to go, even as he is a wanted criminal once again, as well as it's still testing his ability as a burglar, seeing if he still has the wit, all of the intelligence that is required of him, how well he's going to have to think on his feet as he begins on this journey hiding from the police and also going undercover again. This scene in particular shows how people can view you in a certain way, but the way that you're going to view yourself is going to be different. Robbie is seen to be a scary guy, a slick person that can easily slide through any problem that he has, until he is with Bertani and shows that he is nervous. He is indeed going to have a tough battle ahead of him. He knows it's going to be hard, but he's still ready for it just because he knows how skilled he is. And as long as he keeps that strength, he'll be just fine.